has sold off some of the studios behind Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, a PlayStation job listing suggests Sony is still after more acquisitions, and a modder has turned Fisher-Price toy gamepad for babies into a legit controller, and yes, it can play Elden Ring. This is your Daily Fix. The Embracer Group has been quite busy in the past 2 years acquiring companies like 3D Realms, Slipgate Ironworks, Gearbox, Dark Horse Comics, THQ Nordic, and Perfect World Entertainment. Now Embracer is adding Crystal Dynamics, Eidos, and Square Enix Montréal to the list, along with a catalog of iconic IPs, all for the low price of $300 million. The 3 acquired studios are made up of around 1,100 employees spread across 8 locations worldwide. As for the games, the acquisition includes the rights to iconic franchises like Deus Ex, Thief, and Legacy of Kain, and that includes games currently in development like the new Tomb Raider game on Unreal Engine 5 announced by Crystal Dynamics. Eidos-Montréal is best known for the rebooted Deus Ex games Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, as well as last year's Guardians of the Galaxy game. Square Enix Montréal was behind Lara Croft Go and Deus Ex Go, and will presumably continue working with AAA IPs in a mobile space. Square Enix shared news on the reasoning behind the sale, stating it would allow the company to invest more in blockchain, AI, and the cloud. Square Enix isn't completely offloading its Western studios though, it's still got teams behind Just Cause, Outriders, and Life is Strange. As for Square Enix's Japanese development, it seems like business as usual. Don't worry, Sora is okay. He's okay. $300 million seems like a steal. The Tomb Raider games alone have sold 88 million units in the series' lifetime, and that's not accounting for the hundreds of millions the movies have raked in at the box office. Speaking of acquisitions, PlayStation is currently hiring for an acquisition manager to help manage and expand its collection of first-party studios. Last week, we reported on a similar job posting by Microsoft, so it seems like Sony is following suit. As reported by Video Games Chronicle, Sony is after a manager of gaming and strategy development to lead Sony's corporate development team to identify inorganic growth opportunities through acquisition, investment, and joint ventures. In other words, they're looking to grow. The acquisition race between Microsoft and Sony looks like a frantic game of Pong as both push to expand their first-party studio range, dumping billions of dollars to make it happen. Earlier this year, Microsoft scooped up Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion, and a few weeks later, Sony clapped back by hooking up with Microsoft's X, acquiring Bungie, acquiring the former Xbox first-party studio for $3.6 billion. Again, this is billions with a B, which makes that whole 300 million Embracer Group deal seem like pretty small potatoes by comparison. And lastly, on a more heartwarming topic, a modder has turned a toy controller for babies into a fully functioning PC gamepad and even played some Elden Ring to prove it. Inspired by an offhand joke tweeted by Wario64 in April, Twitter user Rudeism shared footage of the Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn game and Learn controller toy actually functioning as a real controller. And to be clear, this is a baby toy designed to teach 6 to 36 months old how to count and identify colors. Rudeism went into detail on how he modded the controller, leaving the toy's original sounds intact.
We've got roll. We've got usabilities. We've got D-pad, so if you check on the bottom left of the screen, you'll see me switching through things.
Though if you talk to most parents whose kids have one of those toys, they'd probably prefer a mod to make it shut the hell up. One of the biggest challenges Rudeism faced was the controller lacking a right analog stick. He found a workaround by using the controller mode switch. Now instead of switching toys' sounds effects between counting and songs, it switches the functionality of the face buttons. Obviously this means it doesn't handle like a normal controller, but hey, this isn't really a normal use for this thing, so it works out. Now the real challenge is, who's got what it takes to do a Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn Level 1 no-hit Elden Ring speedrun? Come on, don't be a baby. And that is your daily fix for today, May 2nd. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my interview with the cast of the new series Star Trek Strange New Worlds that just went up on IGN. We gave it a 9 out of 10, so it's definitely a good series. And while you're at it, download the IGN app across devices, follow the Daily Fix on Snapchat, and for everything else, stick to IGN. I'm Nars, and remember to always stay fabulous.
And like so. So I'm doing it all in one shot just so that you can see it is real indeed. Here you go. Left thumbstick moves around. We've got jump. We've got roll. We've got use abilities.